Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if this is your first time of visiting this channel, I would like you to hit the subscribe button and don't forget to smash the notification bell so that whenever I post a new video you will get notified as soon as possible. And if you've been watching this video or you've been on my channel for quite a long time and you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Just hit on the subscribe button and then smash that notification bell. Alright, yeah, so last week was a very profitable week for us. Yes, if you're on my Telegram community, you are going to testify to whatever I'm saying. All right, we had a very profitable week. Yes, so going into this week, I would like us to look at these pairs just as we do as usual, and then look at what the market has for us going into this week. All right, yeah, so for the dollar index, last week I made you aware that I'm expecting a retracement to happen. All right, I'm expecting a retracement to happen before we see price move to the upside, and we saw it happening exactly just as I called it out. All right, we saw price moving into this bearish candle we are seeing here, and then we saw price move to the upside, clearing this high. So going into next week, I'm expecting to see price move into the zone, and then we see price push to the upside. I'm still bullish on the dollar index. All right, yes, I'm still very bullish on the dollar index. So that is that. All right, I'm expecting to see price push at least within the zone, and then we see price push to the upside. Yes, so going into next week, I'm very bullish on the dollar index. Let's look at what is happening on GBPJPY. Let's look at what is happening on GBPJPY. Yeah, so for GBPJPY we saw a very bearish run on Friday. Yes, we saw a very bearish run on Friday. All right, yes, we saw a very bearish run on Friday. So going into next week, I'm still expecting to see price retrace a little bit to this area, which is likely not to be. All right, it might get here, it might not get here. All right, yes, it might get here or it might not get here, but let's see. Let's go to the lower time frame on the 4-hour time frame and see. All right, yes, so that is that. All right, yes, so I'm expecting to see price push at least to the zone, and then we see price push to the downside, clearing this low, this low, this low, and then this low as well. All right, yeah, so going into next week, that is my expectation. I want to see price retrace a little bit into this area, and then we see price push to the downside. So that is my expectation on GBPJPY going into this week. Let's look at what is happening on AUDJPY. So GBPJPY, AUDJPY, I still have the same plan. We saw a very massive move, all right, last week on AUDJPY. All right, yeah, so I took some sells. All right, I took some sells. So going into next week, I'm expecting to see price clear this low. All right, I'm expecting to see price clear this low, and then this low as well. All right, we are likely to see a long-term sell in AUDJPY. Yeah, so be very mindful if you are planning to take a buy going into this week. All right, yes, so that is we might expect. I'm waiting for. I'm still on the sales. All right, whichever way the market is going to react next week, I definitely know that even if you push to the upside, we are likely to see a retracement this area. If we don't see retracement happening, if we don't see continuation happening from this area, then definitely price will push to this area, and then we see a continuation to the downside. So that is my expectation on AUDJPY going into next week. Let's look at what is happening on AUDUSD. All right, let's look at what is happening. So for AUDUSD, if you watched my weekly forecast for last 2 weeks, I've been bearish on this pair. All right, yes, I've been bearish on this pair, and I'm still bearish. All right, yes, I'm still bearish on this pair. I told you, I made you aware of this scenario. All right, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. All right, yes, we are done with the accumulation. The manipulation has already happened, and we are seeing the distribution in motion. Yes, and so that is that for AUDUSD. So going into next week, we are likely to see a little bit of retracement to this area, and then we see price push to the downside. All right, yes, so I will patiently wait for the retracement, and then I'll continue to add more sell positions on AUDUSD. So that is my expectation on AUDUSD. Let's look at what is happening on NZDUSD. So AUDUSD, NZDUSD, same plan. All right, so if you're my Telegram community, you should know of this move. All right, if you are in my Telegram community, you should know of this move. I posted this last 3 weeks. Yes, I posted this last 3 weeks. I posted this, sorry, last 2 weeks. Yeah, I posted this last 2 weeks. Yes, I posted this last 2 weeks. All right, and I posted this last week. Yes, I posted this last week. I was expecting to see price push. All right, yes, so if you're my Telegram channel, you see this is good. This move it will be familiar to you. Yes, yeah, this move it will be familiar to you. All right, yes, it's 3 weeks. Yes, sorry about that. It's 3 weeks. All right, yes, because this move happened 3 weeks ago. This move happened last 2 weeks, and then last week we saw this move. All right, yes, so that is, I posted this last 3 weeks, I posted this last 2 weeks, and then last week we saw this happening. All right, we saw a retracement, and then this happened last week. All right, yeah, so I'm hoping you were in this move. If you weren't in this move, I mean, you should have been in this move, because before this move happened, I called it out. This was what I used to call you. I was expecting price to push to the zone, and then we see price retrace to the downside, and it did exactly that. All right, so going into next week, you might see a little bit of push to the zone, and then a continuation to the downside. All right, a continuation to the downside, but once you get here, once our target hits finally, all right, I'll be reluctant and wait to see if this low will finally get broken. Once they get broken, this equal lows will be attacked, and then we get into this zone and see where price is going to move to. All right, yes, so going into next week, that is my expectation. All right, yes, so going into next week, that is my expectation. Let's look at what is happening on EURCAD. Let's look at what is happening on EURCAD. So for EURCAD, I'm bullish. All right, yes, for EURCAD, I'm very bullish on this pair. Yes, for EURCAD, I'm very bullish on this pair. I'm expecting price to retrace into this area, and then we see price push to the upside. Yes, so just as you can see, this is an order block. All right, yes, this is an order block we are seeing here. So going into next week, I'm expecting price to push to that zone, and then we see price push to the upside. And if price aligns just as I'm expecting, all right, if price aligns just as I'm expecting, definitely all these liquidity will be attacked, and which is just about 907 pips, almost 1,000 pips on the currency pair. Right, almost 1,000 pips on a currency pair, and you wouldn't want to miss this move. All right, yes, so if you're not on my Telegram channel, just look through the description box below. The link is there. Click on it and be part of my Telegram community. And I mean, let's catch pips. All right, let's catch bigger moves together. So let's look at what is happening on NZDJPY, AUDJPY, NZDJPY, same plan. All right, so just as I'm in a trade on AUDJPY, I'm in a trade too on NZDJPY. But going into next week, I'll expect to see this low being broken. Once this low gets broken, I'll wait for some little bit of retracement, and then I'll add more sell positions. All right, I'll add more sell positions on NZDJPY. Yes, So this was my target, right? This was my target. That was around 137 pips. That was last week. That is the trade I took. All right, that is the trade I took. So going into next week, we might likely to see a little bit of retracement, and then we see a push. All right, and then we see a push to the downside. Right, we see a push to the downside. So that is that for NZDJPY. I'll be looking for sell opportunities. All right, so far as NZDJPY is concerned, let's look at what is happening on Euro AUD. All right, so EURCAD, Euro AUD, I'm bullish. All right, EURCAD, Euro AUD, I'm bullish. So going into next week, I'll expect to see price retrace. All right, yeah. So with this, I'm going to use my Fibonacci to see the likely retracement zone. All right, I'm going to use my Fibonacci to see the likely retracement zone that is at a 62% area. So right at the 62% area, we have an order block in here, and so which exactly makes sense. All right, yes, that I'm expecting to see price retrace to the 62% zone, and then you see a continuation to the upside, because I mean right at the 62% retracement zone, we have an order block in there. All right, yes, we have an order block in there. That is the last down close candle prior to price moving to the upside, clearing all this liquidity we are seeing here. So that is my expectation on Euro AUD going into next week. All right, yes, so I'll patiently wait. All right, I'll patiently wait for the retracement to happen, that is this zone, and then we see a continuation to the upside. Let's look at what is happening on AUDCHF. So I posted this signal on my Telegram community. That was last Thursday, and I mean it did so well. Right, it did so well. Basically, I'm looking forward to see price completely hitting our target. All right, of which so far it has moved. Let's see, of which so far it has moved about 134 pips. All right, that is how far the pair has moved so far. So going into next week, I'm expecting to see price finally hitting our target, and then we continue to look for sell opportunities, because once this equal low is attacked, look at this, once this equal low is attacked, and of which I definitely know that is going to be attacked, all this liquidity will be attacked. All this liquidity we are seeing here will be attacked. So I'm seeing a long-term sales on AUDCHF. I'm really seeing a long-term sell on AUDCHF. So going into next week, you might want to start looking for selling opportunities. All right, you must start looking for selling opportunities on AUDCHF. All right, so that is just that for my expectation going into next week. If you're not part of my Telegram channel, please look through the description box below. The link to my Telegram channel is there. Just hit on it and be part of the fluxforex community. I wish you all good luck and good trade. I'll come your way again another time. Bye.